Well, I've made some decisions and we're going to talk about it. Hi, my name is Katrina. Welcome to my channel. It's Katrina Off Script, where I just share some of my thoughts and things and happenings of my life, and you hear along for the ride. So, I've realized I'm burnt out, and I saw a video on Instagram recently talking about millennials and the careers that we've built and how a lot of us have reached a point where, we feel as though our careers are great and we've done great things, but they're no longer fulfilling and making our lives great. And so we're trying to figure out what to do next, and that's really where I'm at now. Um, Instead of I think the midlife crisis that maybe parents or even grandparents might have had, as millennials, we're not getting that. We're getting something completely different as our midlife crisis. Um, and so we're all trying to navigate and figure it out. And one of the things that I've decided for myself is that I want to take the second half of this year and really work to change my life. I've been very transparent about the fact that I am a late diagnosed neurodivergent, and there's a lot of things that I struggle with. I struggle with executive dysfunction. Gosh, um, I struggle with maintaining routines and things like that, and so I, I I don't have a routine. I don't have habits of doing certain things that are like basic self care things, like brushing my teeth every day. Nightmare, absolute nightmare to brush my teeth. Washing my face, also a nightmare a lot of times. These are things that are very highly sensory disorienting for me, and so it's a struggle for me to do those things. And so I am trying to build myself a way of doing that. And I saw also on Instagram as well, someone made a video about how they do like a bingo with theirs, and so I'm gonna kind of do something like that. But instead of a bingo, I bought this little. I don't know if you can really see it in the camera because of the light, but it's basically like a little. There we go. That's a little bit better. So it's basically it was a chore chart, and you could like check off each chore daily. But instead of me doing like basic chores like cleaning chores, I'm using it for self care instead. So I've made like my things you do every day. So I have daily meds that I take. So I put take meds. I want to stretch daily, twice a day, like in the morning when I get up, and then at night when I get home from work. I want to try to make my bed every day. I want to brush my teeth, wash my face, and shower. Um, I'm gonna try to do these things every single day, and I'm gonna like check out each day off, and then I think I'm gonna try to make it into some sort of reward system for myself. I haven't figured that part out yet, so that's my next part is figuring out rewards, and kind of gamify my life, and hopefully I can stick to this. As time goes on, I'm probably gonna add more things. I do have room for a couple more things, so I may add some of the other things that I want to do um, for my life. Because I have things that I want to do. I want to be more creative. I want to get back into drawing and painting, which are things that I did growing up as a kid, but I kind of stopped doing those things just because I really want to fit in. And so I stopped doing the things that I enjoyed because I didn't want to be bullied anymore for doing those things. And I actually have like a little list. I have a checklist of things that kind of want to keep track of, right? So my goal is to change my life by December 31st of 2026, or I could say January 1st of 2027. Either one really works, but I really want my life to be completely different by the end of the year. I want to be living a life full of creativity and joy, and I want to be closer to financial freedom and being debt free. And I know I need to really lock in and build those routines. And like I said, doing that is really hard for me. And then, a big part of that journey will be that. So I'm going to document that through probably weekly YouTube videos, and then also reels on Instagram. Um, and I don't know like how often I'll record those videos, but I definitely think I'm going to do that. And like I said, I spent years just masking myself, and I think the thing I really want to put out there is that I'm not just doing this for me, my current me. I'm also doing it for past me. So I'm going to show you guys something, and I have receipts. I have little me. I have a little kid me. Okay. She was adorable. Let's see, I'm gonna find it the one I really like. There she is. Picture's not that great, but that's little me. I don't know, 3 or 4 in this picture. And this little girl was so full of whimsy and engagement, and not engagement, that's the word I want. She was inquisitive. She wanted to explore things. Like, and she was unapologetically who she was. Like, there was no filters on this little girl. And I want to honor that little girl who had these creative dreams, um, that I put on hold, or that I pushed away because the world told me that those weren't sustainable. Those weren't good ideas. And it's not just the world, it's people around me. You know, I have an older sister who, she wanted to be an artist, and I just remember my dad saying that, like, she probably wasn't going to do well as an artist. And you know, that stuck with me too, because I loved art. I loved drawing. I loved painting. But while those words were said to me, they were still there. I still heard them. And so I stopped. So I want to honor her. Like look at her. Look at her. She's so cute. Like that's me. Little me. Looking at that tree, like, it's so big. What's funny about this is I have no memories of this moment. I have absolutely zero memories of this. I don't remember my parents taking these pictures. I know where we were. We were in Louis Armstrong National Park, back home in New Orleans. And I want to say this was doing, like, it was one of the festivals. There was an event happening. That's why we were there. But I don't remember this. I wish I did. That's the crazy part, is not having those memories. But I want to honor that little girl who really had that whimsy. And I could make it even further of the whimsy I had, because I was a Barbie kid. I collected Barbie things. And I wish I still had them. This is, I say, I was 4. I would say I was 4 in this picture. And I got the pink Barbie Corvette for Christmas. This is back when Power Wheels were a big, huge thing, and there was the Barbie Jeep. It was like the big thing. I didn't want the Jeep, okay? I wanted the Corvette, so my daddy got me the Corvette. And I remember being really happy. I remember being really happy. And I love this thing, man. I drove her to the ground, okay? Like, yeah. And what's funny is I actually have a picture from that same day, later in the day. This was that same Christmas. This is just later, you know, got dressed up, did our fun stuff, holiday dress. Now I am going to make a video later on, because it is hurricane season, and I do want to make a video, maybe a couple of videos, I'm not sure yet, about Hurricane Katrina and my journey, just because it'll be 21 years this year, and it's something I haven't really talked about a lot. But I do want to talk about that too. So that will be a video, and I will probably share some of these photos again, because some of there's things in my photos that I don't have anymore, and I really wish I did. So that'll be something to touch on later on. But this video is really just about the plans that I have for myself. And I'm putting in a video form because I want to hold myself accountable. I want to be able to look back at this video and say, I said these things, and I know I said them. I have them on record. I have proof of them, not just in writing, but here. I've spoken the words out loud. Because if there's one thing I've been diving into, is manifestation, and speaking out loud the things that you want can really help make things happen. And so I truly want to create for myself a creative life that also brings in income. I want my income to come from my creativity, um, whether that's content creation, art, if I sell my art. Um, Maybe I find a role that allows me to do that. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to slowly look like yet. I'm still trying to find that for myself. Maybe it comes from the audiobook narration. I don't know. But I know I want a creative life, and hopefully I can get there by the end of this year. Um, I am definitely still playing around with audiobook narration and trying to figure out all of the software and all those things, because that's going to be a whole thing. And of course, figuring out filming locations. I'm trying to set up a space in like my closet that I can kind of cozy off and maybe hopefully dampen some of the sound. I do have neighbors above me, and they tend to make a lot of noise. I live in a very old apartment, so there isn't a whole lot of like dampening things. Like the walls are not super thick. I can hear every footstep of my neighbors half the time, so I have to be really mindful when I try to record. Um, if I try to record at night, a lot of times they're walking back and forth and it's super loud. There have been nights that haven't made it go to sleep because they're walking above me. So I have to be mindful of that too. So yeah, I can say I haven't really been posting to my Instagram very often recently. I've had some issues with Instagram. I don't know if other people have been, where like it's not loading my feed, it's not loading messages, like all kind of craziness is happening. So I haven't really filmed anything and posted in a hot minute. So I'm gonna try to get back into doing that. And I think it's just gonna be focused on this series really. Is what I want to do. And I might interest for some other content here and there in that, but I think I'm gonna focus on this. I'm gonna focus on rebuilding my life and changing me to get the life that I want. Um, I'm also participating in a challenge to get fluent in Spanish. That is a goal of mine as well. I want to learn Spanish. I want to be fluent enough to be able to hold conversations with my fellow cast that I work with who speak Spanish, with the cast that I encounter. And it's just it's a skill to have. Like having another language is always a great skill. So I want to be able to learn another language. I've always been interested in learning languages. I always love language. My mom says I get it from my grandmother. My grandmother was a polyglot. She spoke multiple languages. I unfortunately never got to learn anything from her because she passed away when I was quite young. I was like 6 or 7 years old when my grandmother passed. So I never really got to learn any of those things from her. I never had a grandparent in my life. Um, so there's that. I feel like this video is probably all over the place, honestly, but it's fine. It's me, I'm a bit chaotic and all over the place half the time. And if you watch the video all the way through, I want you to share like one of your most random like echolalia things, like the most random song that pops into your head at the most random moment. Today I had the Little Einstein theme song pop in my head randomly while I was putting away my laundry. So that was a shock and really popped in my head, and I literally stopped what I was doing and said verbally, "What the fuck?" So my roommate freaked out, like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" And I told him what happened. He was like, "Yep, the ADHD." Um, so and that happens to me a lot. I almost constantly have multiple songs running in my head, and sometimes one will really jump to the forefront, and that one, it yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. There was no trigger for it. It just showed up. So there's that. Um, and to drive home that point of content creation, I really, really, really want to buy a regular Switch, right? Like I have a Switch Lite. You can see her. She's little. She's great. And like I can film me playing using like my phone or my iPad or something like that, but the quality is not as great and it's super hard to do because of glare. So I have to do it in the dark and like it's just awkward to do. And so I'm going to put my Venmo in the description. And if you feel so inclined to donate to funding me trying to get a Switch, I would be so appreciative of it. I'm not even gonna kid you. Like I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace trying to find one used. Like I don't even care if it's brand new. I really, really don't. If I know later on I could always work to getting a brand new one. I do eventually want to switch too, but they're expensive, right? So that's a whole other thing that I'm really working towards. Um, and, just trying to work my way out of that while also working out of debt because I'm not going to say I'm in like a ton of debt because I am, but I'm not at the same time. My biggest thing right now is getting um, my rent and my car payments caught back up. Same from a roommate. He's behind in his car, so we're really trying our hardest to just get to that point where we're good there. So same thing. If you want to donate to the Venmo to help fund those things, I would be so appreciative of it. You all have no idea. I My biggest goal is that once I am at a point where I am good financially, I plan on paying it forward and helping others because I know the power of mutual aid. I know what it can do for people. I know what it's like to not really have a lot of people help you. And like, yes, I have family, but I'm not really in contact with a lot of them. And the family that I am in contact with, they can't always help. My sister has 3 kids and she's basically a single parent. So she can't really afford to help as much as I know she would love to be able to help me when she can, but she can't. My mom, while yes, she can too. She's on a fixed income to the sense that she does get Social Security and she does have a job, but she's limited on how much she can work because if she works too much, she'll lose Social Security, and Social Security is what pays her rent for the most part. So it's a struggle for her too. Does she help when she can? Absolutely, absolutely she does. She 100% will buy me groceries. She'll give me gas money. Like she will help when she can, where she can. But she's trying to help me and my sister at the same time, which can be really hard for her to do. So, I reach out and I ask for help when I need it. I'm hitting food banks right now to help circumvent some of the food costs because food's expensive and I gotta eat, right? So I'm hitting up food banks and I hate going to food banks because it's just me and my roommate. We don't have any kids living with us or anything. So I feel bad, but it's a service that's there. So I go. I don't go all the time. I don't go as often as other people might. Um, but I will go and I will get stuff and then I try to plan meals and it is something else we're doing. And something I definitely say that everyone should try to do. If you're trying to save money on food, meal plan, meal plan, meal plan, meal plan. I can say that when we were meal planning, we were saving a lot of money and then we kind of stopped, and so now we're trying to get back into doing that. Um, so I'm planning what meals we want to make for the month, buying what I need to make those things, planning lunches, dinners, everything. If I can, my plan for me, I'm going to take down a loaf of bread probably tomorrow and thaw that out, and I'm going to make a bunch of peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and that's going to be my lunch for a while, especially on the days that I work like a shorter shift where I don't have a long break. Again, trying to save money because it's expensive, y'all, and I'm trying to not spend money if I don't need to. Um, so I'm trying to get better at my life, and I'm going to share as much of it as I can, um, much as I remember to share as well. I don't really have any like super crazy life updates, honestly, just because like I haven't really done anything. I've been going to work and then coming home. So there's that. And doing this plan, formulating this plan for my life to improve it. So yeah, there is that. So yeah, that's all I have for today. Um, if there's anything specific you want to note from me, anything Disney wise. Oh, actually, I am going to say this. I work at Disney Springs. I've said that and made that no secret about that. And I know there's a lot of discourse around the whole bus transportation thing with the resorts. I have spoken to so many other cast who are in other areas that really do deal with some of that, like backlash and things, specifically cast members and guest relations. Again, the thing is that, and I know Disney has put out some things about it. I don't speak for the brand of the company, but I can say it as someone who's seen what has happened and seen a lot of the discourse is Disney Springs can get very busy very quickly. And what I see a lot, at least what I used to see a lot, is I would see people coming from the garage because for where I park, I walk past one of the garages. I walk past one of the garages, like I can see the guests coming, entering after they go past security. I can see them coming, and I can see them come down, and I see them look at the bus loop. And I have had, I don't know how many times I've had someone ask me, how can I get to the parks? Are there buses to the parks from here? And yes, they can technically get to the parks from Disney Springs, right? That is no secret. You can technically do so. But the problem, like Disney said, like other content creators have said, is that it causes an issue because now that's parking that's being taken up by guests who are at a park, are not taking up space at Disney Springs, and they're at the park. Add to that, sometimes the park in the hours, how the buses are situated, it could take you forever to get to the park from Disney Springs, or getting to back to Disney Springs from the park. Like it can take up to an hour, depending on how the buses are running. Even longer, honestly, it can take up to an hour and a half. Most transportation, if you're taking the buses, they tell you to give yourself at least 2 hours to get somewhere because the buses are not super consistent at certain times of the day. There's certain things that may happen that may limit how many buses are on the route. So I understand that there are people that are upset, but change has to happen, and this isn't necessarily directly coming just from Disney. This is also coming from the people who run the garages, um, because Disney doesn't run the garages. The garages are run by the district. Um, so those are the people who basically handle all of the waste management, emergency management, stuff like that on Disney property. So that I just hit the mic. So a lot of those that push, some of that is not coming directly from Disney. Some of that is coming from those people who are over that as well, because a lot of times the cast, those particular employees or cast members, however you want to look at them, um, they may deal with a lot of that backlash from the guests who are upset that they can't get to a park from Disney Springs, and they may go back to their car. Because usually, for me, if I'm the person approached by a guest for that question, I will tell them there is no transportation to a park from Disney Springs. You need to get back in your car and drive to the park and pay for parking and park at the park. And that may make people upset. I don't really care if it makes them mad. That's my job, is to tell them the truth. My job is to give you the best advice possible, and that is the best advice I can give you. That is going to save you time, especially if you're on a time crunch and you're trying to get to the park for a reservation or something. Like, you get back in your car and drive. Like, I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. My mistake. Sorry. I am not sorry. Like, just drive. Just drive. Like, pay the $25 or $35 whatever it is. I don't even know how much it's cost to park anymore. I don't pay for parking. I get there for free. But if I knew that I was trying to go to a park, say I wasn't a cast member, if I was trying to go to the park, I'm going to pay for parking. I'm not going to try to cheat the system. That, like, no, that doesn't make sense to me. Now, it would be one thing if, say, maybe I went to Springs, and then while I was at Springs, I was looking for a particular piece of merchandise, and I didn't want to pay for parking just to get one piece of merchandise from the park. Then yeah, that'd be different. But with the way the system is set up now, it's not easy to just go to the park anyway. You have to have a reservation. So, like, like that's a different situation. But on the on the overall scale, if it was me, I'm going to pay to park at the place I'm already at, so that way I can easily access my car if I need it. Like, I don't think that's crazy. Um, so I just want to say, like, I definitely can say, coming, knowing that starting this Sunday, I can say that I know that Springs is going to probably be pretty chaotic. It's the start of a holiday weekend, or like start week of a holiday. Like, there's going to be so many things going on, and I know that the cast are going to be dealing with that, are probably going to get so much pushback, and my heart goes out to them, and I stand by them 100%. Whatever cast are out there, I don't know who's going to be the people checking the magic bands and stuff. I don't know who those people are going to be. I really don't. I know in the past it's been the Cancellations cast, but the Cancellations cast I've spoken to said it may not be them. It may be someone else. So we shall see what that looks like come Sunday. So there's that. As far as Disney content from me, I know I said I was going to post some Disney content. I just really haven't gone to the parks. It's just been way too hot. Like, it's hot. It is so hot, y'all. Like, it is hot in Florida. We have hit triple digits on our heat indexes several days now. Like, it's awful outside, okay? It's also been raining. It's raining right now. Not heavy, but it's raining. And I'm not a particular fan of going out in the rain either. So yeah, I we'll see. We shall see what happens. I do want to try to do some park content. I want to go watch the fireworks for 4th of July. I haven't seen them in years, and I love them. So I might maybe try to do something like that. I don't know. Just because we are technically blocked out of most of the parks, or not most of. I think we're blocked out of Magic Kingdom, but we can go to the other parks right now. So I could attempt to go like Epcot and watch fireworks on probably Friday. I don't think I do Saturday because I think I work Saturday night, so I'll be able to do that. I have to cough. I'm so sorry. um, so I don't know, and maybe I'll film it and share it. I don't know. I know it wouldn't be like a live stream or anything like that. Um, so I really don't know what that's gonna look like. Like I said, but I will probably do weekly. I'm gonna with the change, me doing this change to my life. Going back to that, what my original purpose of the video was, is I am going to try to track my progress weekly and do weekly updates of this change to my life and see how I do. Um, Hopefully, I do well. Hopefully, by the end of this year, actually, I'm not gonna say hopefully, by the end of this year, my life will look different. Okay, I'm saying it out loud. By the end of this year, my life will look different than it looks right now. I will be doing creative things that bring me joy, that bring me some form of income, and that make my life better. I will, I'm not going to 100% say that I will be because this is one's a little bit harder, but I will be a better Spanish speaker. I'm not going to say I'll be fluent, but I will be a better Spanish speaker than I currently am. I will be a better sewer, and I will be a better artist. Because again, I'm reteaching myself how to draw because like I used to draw and I haven't really drawn a lot, so I am reteaching myself. I have the little, let me grab it because I do have it with me. I have a little sketchbook, and I've been sketching some things in my little sketchbook. I have a pencil with it. Bring it to work. And I'll sketch like when it's slow or something. mm. I'm I keep having a cough. I'm so sorry, guys. If that was really loud, I'm sorry. But so I'm trying to do those things. Um, so yeah, I'm going to do those things, and I'm gonna be honest about it. I'm terrified to really try any of these things because it's out of my comfort zone, and I think that's the biggest thing of why I haven't done a lot is because I'm comfortable where I'm at, but I know that in order for me to have real change, I need to get uncomfortable. So yeah, it's time for me to get uncomfortable, and I'm gonna do this. I'm going to do this. I think 42 will look very different for me, but we shall see. Well, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any advice for some of the things I'm about to try, please share that in the comments as well. You can link videos, anything you have, like honestly, like anything about audiobook narration, um, painting, drawing, anything. Like honestly, share, please share it, comment it. Give me every bit of advice you can possibly give to help me out. I don't have the resources to buy courses and things like that. So I'm literally doing all this through YouTube University and now Instagram University because let's be honest, the Instagram people they're doing it. Okay, they're sharing so much free stuff there too. So I'm using the two of them and Google. I'm using the tools I have to make what I can happen. So if you have any advice for people I need to look at, people I need to follow, things like that, please let me know. Share in the comments. And if you feel so inclined to donate to the funds of getting myself a new Switch or getting myself out of debt, as far as like the behind things, like my rent in my car, It'll be, the Venmo is linked, and you can send me money through Venmo. Even small amounts help. It doesn't matter. All right, cool. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.